Hello, everyone. Welcome to Brain Dump episode 13. Thank you so much for joining along with me today. It's a jam-packed, action-packed, crazy-packed, super-packed episode. First off, if you're listening, you might hear a really good quality, maybe. That's because I'm not in a car like last episode, and I'm also quite close to the mic. And for those of you watching me visually, I'm in a different spot. I am on the floor. Why am I on the floor? I just wanted a change of scenery. I just wanted to test out a different location because I've tried my bed. I've tried this little corner spot in my room. Now I'm trying the floor. It's quite a barren landscape I have here. But that just means you can't focus on anything else except me, the star of the show, Nicole. So, with that being said, let's do a little deep dive onto what's been going on in my brain this past week. First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to the birthday girl of the week. This is her birthday week. Mackenzie, my roommate, if you listened to the podcast that we did together, that's her, the podcast episode. She is wonderful. I love her, and I've only known her for less than a year, but I love her so much. I think she's one of the coolest and funniest people I've ever met, and she's definitely the coolest tall woman I've ever met in my life. So, all the tall women in my life, you have a lot to live up to, because if you're not doing it like Mackenzie, who are you doing it like, you know? So I want to wish her a very amazing 21st birthday. We're going to be celebrating it together this weekend. Her birthday is Sunday, but it's a birthday weekend for sure. What do we have planned? I don't know. I know for a fact she's getting a tattoo, which, not to sidetrack from her, but I was also going to get a tattoo or tattoos this weekend as well. But then I realized I am severely in debt, and maybe I should hold off on it until I have regained my composure in financial terms. Because my my credit card debt is it's racked up to $700. And that is because I love to loiter around in Sephora and Target way too often. I have to get an oil change, but is that important? No, it's more important to go to Sephora and slay and look hot and sexy and smell good. That's my vibe so far these past couple of weeks. So yeah, while I'm working on while I'm working on getting myself out of that debt situation, I already have my tattoos picked out. I have the day. I'm going to be getting more tattoos April 22nd. Mark it on your calendars. I'm so fucking excited. It's from the day I'm filming this, it's less than a month away. So hopefully I get my shit together in less than a month, because if not, worried. My goal is to go to LA for my concert with $0 in debt so I can rack it up in LA. Really hoping I stick to that, but I am an impulsive buyer and I do have a really bad spending problem. So we'll see if we get there. Hoping. But yeah, circling back to Mackenzie. Love her. Love everything about her. She's one of my favorite people on this planet. And yeah, we should all be more like Mackenzie. Anyways, that's that for this weekend. Those are my plans for this weekend. But I did write down in my notes some things that I wanted to bring up, just because I am not, I can't come up with stuff on the spot, specifically when I have this microphone in front of me. It's almost like I'm banned from thinking originally or having a thought at all. So I have to write it down, and sometimes I feel a little embarrassed every time I look at my phone in these episodes, because it looks like I do it all the time. And that's true, kind of. I do, but I also it's honestly because I follow a script and I am not an actress. I can't memorize a script. So I like to look at my phone. Maybe one day I'll put everything on my iPad so it looks like I have a bigger screen to look at. I don't know. I'm just making things up at this point. But I decided I wanted to speak on some things. First and foremost, I've diagnosed myself as an entertainment junkie. Like, oh my God, the amount of media I consume is crazy these days. Like, it's like I'm trying to set a world record for nothing, like for no one. I'm just always watching something. Like, I'm not good at math, but I feel like more than half the time of at the time of any day, at any given moment of any given day, half the time, I'm probably watching something. I'm probably consuming some sort of media. I'm either watching a show, watching a movie, TikTok. I am a screen junkie, I think. And is that a bad thing? No, I don't deem it personally as a bad thing. I just think it's nice to get my eyes off the screen sometimes. But I do love watching anything and everything and everywhere. Everything everywhere all at once. You know? So that's like the first thing I wanted to open up with. Some things I'm watching right now, because I'm watching so many things, it's kind of insane. Like, writing all of this down, like physically seeing it on my notes app, like really confirmed that I need to slow down, but I'm not going to because I don't want to, simply put. But it's kind of crazy. Let's go through it. So right now, as of literally like a couple days ago, maybe 3 days ago, tops, I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race season 9. I don't watch RuPaul Drag Race like in order of seasons ever. I've only ever watched one other season, and it was the season that Trixie and Katya were in. So if that gives you any meter to judge me off of. But yeah, I'm on season 9, which is I think like the most recent one that's on Hulu. Speaking of which, I'm such an entertainment junkie at the moment that I couldn't bear to have Hulu with ads anymore, so I started paying for Hulu without ads because I'm just that bitch. Like, I got so sick and tired of watching Hulu ads. Like, first of all, Hulu ads are insanely repetitive and annoying as fuck. Like, they're never creative. Once I see like one ad that I've never seen before, I'm like, oh my God, that's such a funny, cool ad. And then I see it 7 more times in the same amount of like my show, like the duration of my show. And it pisses me off and I hate it. And there's so many dating app commercials. It's like crazy. I just had to get rid of that. So I did. And I gotta say, Hulu without ads, that's premium star treatment right there, if I do say so myself. So I'm watching it. I'm watching season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Do not spoil it for me. It's really good right now. That's what I'm watching. I'm like really into watching trash reality TV, specifically My Super Sweet 16. Wow, like MTV just creates amazing shows sometimes, but My Super Sweet 16 is crazy. I hate that they don't have all the episodes on Hulu or like all the seasons. If you haven't ever seen an episode of My Super Sweet 16, please do. Please indulge, because it's funny. It's really entertaining to watch these spoiled ass fucking children get the birthday party of their dreams. I didn't have this luxury, but they did, and I'm living vicariously through them. That's really my only example. Like, I'm not watching too much trash reality TV, but I do like to watch it every once in a while, and it is really therapeutic and really nice to watch. So I would totally get into some trash reality TV if you haven't. I just started watching Freaks and Geeks. I'm on episode 2. And it's made me realize that within the last 2 weeks, I've watched so many things with James Franco in it that as James Franco, the person, I absolutely despise him. But, like, he's in everything I'm watching, and it kind of is pissing me off because, like, I'm not watching it for him, but he's in it. But Freaks and Geeks, so far, it's kind of slow. I do like that the girl who plays Velma, I always forget her name. I think it's Val Dennings. That could be wrong. That could be so wrong. Let me be correct about this because I don't want people who actually know who she is to like rat on me. Linda Cardinelli. Yeah. I don't know. I think I was thinking of the girl who's in Thor. No, Val Demings is a politician. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened in my brain. Sorry, there was a misfire happening in here. But Linda Cardinelli is in it, and she looks so beautiful in it. I can't believe she has never aged before in her life. Isn't that so crazy? Seth Rogen is like really weird looking in that show. Like, I know it's just like Seth Rogen, but like young. But it like kind of like, ugh, like he kind of, it like makes me realize like Seth Rogen was never an attractive person. He was never a hot white guy. Never. Like, ooh, sorry. Like, I watched him in, what's it called? The Fabelmans. Also not cute in that either. I can't believe Michelle Williams went for that. Compared, like, against Paul Dano, crazy. But that's another thing. Skipping past Freaks and Geeks, because I don't know enough of it to really rat on it. Just, like, the fact that it's kind of a little slow right now, but the show did just start, so I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm also watching, obviously, I've been talking about it for the past couple of episodes, Modern Family. If you have never seen Modern Family before, like I have, please get on it. It's 11 seasons, so like it's quite a bit of show to watch, and it's so far never gotten boring. Like, I love it through and through. I can't believe I never saw it sooner. Like, I'm kind of glad I'm watching it now and not when it was like airing on TV, because I would have hated it if it was airing on TV and I had to like wait to tune in. But Hulu is just the greatest, one of my favorite, honestly, at this very moment, streaming platforms. It just has everything I like on it, but Modern Family is so good. I really recommend it. I couldn't recommend it anymore, actually. It's hilarious. And I don't even remember. I think we just started season 8. We've been blowing through the seasons like crazy. I think it's like 24 episodes a season, and we've been like literally blowing through them in like 2 days. Concerning maybe, but that's why we don't have Hulu with ads anymore, guys. Because if I had Hulu with ads, we might still be watching season 6 or season 7. I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Oh, and by the way, when I say we, I mean me and Natalie mostly, my roommate, my best friend, the person who's on the last episode. Yeah, me and her, when we sit down, we hanker down on those couches at night in our living room, and we binge. Like, I swear, from like 6 or 7 p.m. to like maybe 11, latest 12 p.m. a.m., we are watching TV. Trust. Like, we are watching probably Modern Family. Like, we've completely postponed watching Bluey, and we haven't seen Bluey like as much as we used to. We're not done with it, but like, we haven't watched it in so long because we've been so into watching Modern Family. It's just that good, like, I'm telling you. But yeah, what else? We have I'm really into horror movies and thrillers right now. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just like realizing I think that my favorite genre ever is horror. They just do it so good. Like, I love a good slasher. I love a good gore, a little gory moment. I love a little suspense. Love it all. I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but Spring break, wow. Spring break was kind of like okay. I didn't really do anything besides go to the doctors. I went to my primary doctor, my dentist, and my OBGYN. Crazy times. I did not get a pap smear. When I do get a pap smear, I will let everyone know how that experience goes. And I do have male listeners. So you'll get to find out with me. Like, we're going to go on this journey together on what a pap smear is like. Story time. It was honestly like an okay spring break. Nothing really notable. It didn't do much, but I did have a good time. Just know that. Speaking of spring break, watched Spring Breakers. Oh my God. Like, it was my first time watching Spring Breakers, and it was truly crazy. If you've never seen Spring Breakers before, go ahead and watch it. I'm not saying it's good in any way. I'm just saying, like, wow, that's a movie. Like, that is a movie. And you will find yourself repeating James Franco's exact words. Spring break, spring break, spring break forever. If you've seen Spring Breakers, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. What the fuck is James Franco? I wrote that down. What the fuck is that? I don't know who that is. Oh, circling back to what I said about James Franco, I'm anti-James Franco, but I've also coincidentally been watching a lot of things with James Franco in it. Like, I watched This Is the End for the first time. Really good movie, by the way, if you've never seen it. It's on HBO Max. Like I said, Freaks and Geeks, Spring Breakers, so many things I've seen him in. It's crazy. And my last little update for y'all is like a couple days ago, had a dream. I've been having really weird, like vivid, like crazy intense dreams lately, like this past week. And one of my dreams, I really wish I'd written it down, but I like awoke randomly, in the middle of the night because I needed to pee. I just got an Amazon notification. I'm so sorry if you heard it. But I like woke up randomly middle of the night, needed to pee. It was like 6 a.m. I had woken up from this crazy dream. I don't really know much about it. Like I don't remember what happened in it. I don't remember the specifics. All I remember is that I was Jonah Hill in the dream. What was I doing? Don't know. Why was I Jonah Hill? Don't know. I just was Jonah Hill. And I would do anything to know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, why did I dream about that? I just have been thinking a lot about Jonah Hill recently. He's crazy. Love him. And that is the conclusion of my little life updates. Yes, it took 20 minutes. And yes, you listened to all of that. Now we're going to talk about the actual episode, which is me reading Reddit stuff. I know what you're thinking. Nicole, you go on Reddit? You're one of those bitches? No, I'm actually not. Like, I actually don't go on Reddit very often. I only go when I go watch my little illegal movies. r/piracy, by the way. But I'm not like constantly on Reddit. Like, it's not like my Instagram. Like, Instagram is my Instagram, bitch. Like, I don't go on any other social media as much as I do Instagram and Twitter. But went on Reddit because had this idea to make this podcast episode about reading Am I the Asshole subreddit posts. If you don't know, if you haven't seen these, like, honestly, I get them kind of often, not really actually, every once in a while on my TikTok. Just people on a podcast literally reading out Am I the Asshole posts. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Am I the asshole? The person has a situation. They write it down. They ask. They finish their, like, question, their query, their whatever with Am I the Asshole? So we're going to be going through those, and we're going to be investigating, coming to a conclusion on whether or not these people are assholes, based on my point of view. And you can follow along at home or wherever you're listening. I have 3 readings prepared. They're pretty lengthy, so that's why I only have 3. And I'm hoping, since I've already gone like 20 minutes into this episode, it'll be a good lengthy one that you'll be like, oh my God, she should do this again. Because trust me, I would. I would do this again. This is a really easy thing to do. Anyways, let's get into this. First one. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my roommate's girlfriend's meals? About 6 weeks ago, I, 21 female, moved in with my friend John, 22 male. John and I have been very good friends for almost 2 years now, and after I befriended him at work. 6 months ago, he met this girl, Kat, 19 female. He told me about her the day after he matched with her on a dating app and took me to her workplace to meet her. Really crazy. Okay. She seemed very lovely. I was so happy for him. Since then, John is always inviting her to every outing, so I got to know her. We have lots in common, and for John's sake, I wanted to be her friend. However, I think that, in the nicest way possible, she is a bit rude. She does art, and half the time, John compliments her work. She says, "You hate it, don't you?" Or times we hang out with other friends, we have had to go home early as she was bored, and John was our ride home. She hasn't done anything to me personally, but I just don't like her much. I'm happy John has found someone he cares for, but having to stand by and watch how she acts sometimes rubs me the wrong way. Honestly, I've known people that way, aka my ex. But anyway, here's where the issue comes in. Yesterday, John and I were at the supermarket to do our food shopping. Normally, we would buy our food for the week and maybe a couple of simple/frozen meals to save for Sunday. However, Kat has been coming over for dinners a few times a week, and she has a very limited diet. She refuses to eat anything other than fast food or simple/frozen meals. She likely has her reasons for eating specific food, and in case it's due to an eating disorder or something similar, I don't want to make things hard for her or pry into something that isn't my business. Valid. The time where it becomes an issue for me is how John has now wanted to buy quote unquote backup meals for her in case she doesn't like what we're cooking. This was actually me. Like, this story is actually about me. I'm Kat. I'm picky as fuck. This would make sense, as before she has been eating stuff that was part of our weekly meal plan. The problem is John wants me to financially contribute to these extra meals for her. Crazy. When I spoke to John about this and said how I'm not happy paying half for her meals, our weekly shop cost is just split in half, as we both eat everything, he got quite agitated. He called me selfish for not wanting to help her, just to save money. I know frozen meals aren't the most expensive thing in the world, but John is in a much better financial situation than I am, and while I can pay my share of the bills and occasionally have outings with friends, I don't want to be dishing out extra money for meals for a girl I have no real connection to, as these small amounts do add up. In my eyes, if Kat doesn't like what we're cooking, she could come over a different day, or John could buy backup meals for her out of his own pocket. I feel like an asshole, but I don't think I should be paying for an extra person's food. If my boyfriend had a similar situation to Kat, I'd see it as my responsibility to provide for him and his diet, and I'd never expect John to pay. Am I the asshole for thinking this way? Girl. You've known this guy, you're really good friends with him for 2 years. Of course, great supporting friend, you're so happy that your friend is in a relationship, go them. It's one thing for them to for the girlfriend to be picky and not want to eat their food. That's fine. She can do that. Go ahead. But to then eat into the food that you and this person buy every week for yourselves, like food that you guys are actually going to eat. It's kind of fucked up. And then like to expect like your friend of 2 years that you've lived with longer than he's even known this girl, and like he expects you to pay for her backup meals and shit. No, ma'am. You are not the asshole. You are a normal human being with moral values, I'd say. I personally would just be like, I would sit this roommate down and be like, hey, I understand, like, your girlfriend is picky, whatever, like, she doesn't want to eat whatever food we're making. That's fine. Like, that doesn't offend me. I'm going to eat my food. You're going to eat your food. We'll go our separate ways. But I don't think I should be contributing to, like, pay out of my own pocket for your girlfriend's food. Like, this is not a threesome. This is not a throuple. Like, I'm not emotionally invested in this person at all. So why should I be paying for their food just because they don't like what we're making? Like, no. That's a little bit much. I think it's a really easy solution. And if it makes you lose this friend of 2 years, then so be it. I mean, like, you guys can live together and not talk. It kind of sucks. It's not ideal, but I mean, if this girl is driving a wedge between y'all, I would do the same, because it's not my business. Like, who am I in this economy with inflation? Girl, think again. So that's the first story I found. Here's the second one. I picked this one specifically because the title is so funny to me. Here we go. Am I the asshole for reporting my classmates for joking that I have pretty privilege? Off the cuff. Crazy title. Like, no way they did that. Anyway, let's go. Background. I'm female, 23. One of only a few female students in a male-dominated course. Furthermore, I am at a highly prestigious university, and I haven't really gotten along with the guys on my course. They are all very competitive, and I just don't really enjoy their company. Everything turns into a pissing contest, and they definitely take me less seriously because I'm a woman. Boo. I stopped interacting with them beyond the mere minimum and choose to hang out with other people. Anyway, I did well in our recent exams. I topped 2 out of 4 exams we've had so far. Our professor congratulated me during class. I wouldn't have advertised this myself. Ever since then, my interactions with a specific group of male classmates have gotten weird. They're now outright rude and challenge me aggressively in class discussions. Beta males. Am I right, ladies? We recently had some presentations, and one of them chose to do theirs on, to put it simply, pretty privilege. They specifically pointed out two papers that suggested that pretty female students get overscored in assessments. The other guys in the group snickered, and one of them even gave me a wink. Freaks. Creeps. Afterwards, I heard them in the hallway joking that they, quote unquote, had experience with that themselves. I've seen a PhD student within our department for a month. He has literally nothing to do with our course. Well, we ran into one of my course mates, A, together. The next day in class, his friend B asked me if my quote unquote boyfriend helped me with. Hold on, sorry. The picture cut off. Helped me with my exams, or with the exams. He said this intentionally loud and in front of the professor who heard this. I replied that I don't have a boyfriend, because he's not my boyfriend. But then B pointed out that he had run into me with the PhD student, making a point to say his name. The professor knows him. I just replied that we're only friends. They didn't let up. I heard that they discussed this thing in 2 more classes in earshot of the professors. Both times, they suggested I got help for my exams. I wasn't even seeing him then. I didn't confront them, but this has been causing me so much anxiety. Even without the exam accusations, I worked hard to get here and I don't want to be known among the faculty for my dating life. I raised this issue with my supervisor without the intention of taking it any further, but I wanted her advice as a woman in academia. She convinced me to let her email their supervisors to remind them of proper conduct and describe their treatment of an quote-unquote unnamed female student. She didn't name me, but they figured it out. They confronted me after class and asked me why I would report their silly joke. Apparently, their supervisors are now very cold towards them and less interested in helping. It's not a formal complaint, only their supervisors know. But one of them, C, said his supervisor writes the reports for his financial aid/scholarship, and it was my fault if he lost out on that. I now feel a bit embarrassed, and this was compounded by a friend telling me I took it too far because C shouldn't lose out on a scholarship. So, am I the asshole? I don't think you're the asshole. I think these men are childish. I think these men aren't ready for academia, I'd say. Because, grow up. So what if she's prettier than you? And she's girl bossing in Women's History Month? Mind your business. Actually, I hate when men exist. Am I right, ladies? I don't get it. Why are you hating on a woman? Because she's pretty? I don't think the professor has any, he doesn't care. And if he did, that is unprofessional. And maybe it's worth reporting the professor. But then these guys are actually psychopaths. And I can't wait for this girl to finish this class because this is a nightmare, I would say. I would actually be so pissed off and I would refuse to come to class because why are you doing that? Also, maybe he should lose out on his scholarship. Teach him a fucking lesson, I guess. What? No, oh my God, you are not the asshole, I'd say. I'd love to know what you guys think, but I don't think she's the asshole. She's just a student like anybody else. This is going to be the last one. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Everyone take a quick sip of water break. We ready? We not parched anymore? We hydrated? Awesome. Let's begin. Third and final one. This one is quite short compared to the other ones, but I don't care. I wanted to end it on a silly little note. So, this is the last one. Am I the asshole for not punishing my 7-year-old daughter for her play relationships? My husband and I have a 7-year-old daughter together, Layla. A few months ago, Layla got a boyfriend, Lucas. They are both 7, so it's obviously not a real relationship. They just hold hands sometimes, and they drew each other hearts for Valentine's Day. This week, Layla was apparently holding hands with another boy. Scandalous. Who also sent Layla a Valentine's Day letter. She's getting it. As a 7-year-old, she's getting it. Good for her. And Lucas took offense to it. Valid. That's his woman. Not officially, but he did write. They did draw each other hearts for Valentine's Day. You know? We found out Lucas' parents called to tell us Lucas won't be coming over to us this Saturday like it was originally planned because he's mad at Layla. What? As a fucking parent, grow up. This is a 7-year-old little thing. What? But okay. My husband wants us to punish Layla and wants me to have a talk with her about faithfulness. At first, I thought he was joking, but no, he was serious. He says that Layla cheated on Lucas and I, and as her mother, should do something about it. I told my husband that Layla is 7, not a cheater, and I won't treat her as such. He then accused me of, quote-unquote, raising a cheater. Wow, your husband sucks. And encouraging the bad behavior. am I the asshole for not wanting to punish Layla? Like, these aren't even real relationships, guys. Come on. It's a 7-year-old relationship. Like, we're talking, what, like a first or second grader? It's not that serious. I support women's rights and wrongs. Layla is just living her life. She is getting all the attention she deserves. I'm so happy for her. I think the dad and like that kid, the little kid, they're blowing it out of proportion. Like, okay, maybe I would have a talk with the daughter, like saying like, hey, like, just to let you know, like in real, like when you grow up, it's not normal to like want to abandon a partner or like abandon someone who's interested in you that you're clearly also interested in. Like, take it one person at a time, because then you're sending mixed signals to your original partner, and like, what are they supposed to think other than like, oh, they never liked me, they were just pretending, they were lying to me. And that doesn't look good for you as an adult who you might be into this person, but you also might be into another person. Like, I could understand that talk, but she's a 7-year-old. Like, how much is she really gonna grasp? Like, you have to like dumb it down. Like, you can't do this because then this boy thinks he doesn't like you, and that doesn't look good because that's not how it should be. Like, I just think like the first grade, second grader drama is crazy. I wouldn't really care too much if I was a parent. Like, not sending your kid over just because like the daughter is like into someone else. You don't even know if that's true. Like, what if it's just a joke? What if it's not true? I don't think the mom is the asshole. I think the daughter might slightly be the asshole, but only because she doesn't know any better. And that's fine. That's like valid. I'm sure she'll learn with time that like obviously what she was doing and like when she was a 7-year-old was crazy and that she shouldn't have acted that way. But that's why you're a child, so you can have fun and do all these weird little silly things with no repercussions. She's getting canceled as a 7-year-old at this school. Let that sink in. We're canceling 7-year-olds now. Let her girl boss gatekeep, gaslight. That's all I gotta say. And with that, we come to the end of this podcast episode. I had a really good time reading these. I tried my best to not stumble upon my words because I feel like if I stumble, you're not going to understand the story, obviously. If I was listening to someone's story and they kept stumbling on their words, I'd be like, okay, get to the fucking finale because I can't sit through this any longer. So I hope this was bearable for you guys to listen, and I hope that you guys answered alongside with me and hopefully agreed with my answers and my reasonings, because I don't think the people that listen to this podcast have too far off belief systems than I do. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. Let me know if you guys want another one of these, because I would totally do another one. And I could find some way longer ones, or even do like different Reddit subreddit readings if you guys would like that. I do like reading out loud. Love it. Maybe I'd do an audiobook episode. That'd be crazy. I don't think I would do that. Like, I think that would be its own separate problem, but like, that'd be so silly. Anyways, one of my friends, I do have to say before I end the episode, one of my friends, Izzy, he is currently en route to Seattle to go visit his sister, and he had two, what's it called? Layovers. One in Denver and one in Phoenix. And he told me that he was going to send me video updates for me to post specifically with the podcast. So if he ends up sending them to me, you will be seeing them shortly after I'm done talking and saying goodbye. And if he didn't, then this is where the episode ends. And that's on him for doing that. And if he doesn't send them this week, then he definitely will send them next episode. So sorry to get your hopes up. Hopefully that sticks with you. If not, I'll bring it back up again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget to keep listening and staying sexy and smart and awesome. And yeah, have a great weekend and a great life. I leave you with maybe Izzy talking. If not, the end of the episode. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye. Have a good one.